Liberia is our only home. Liberia is our only home. We cannot sit and watch Liberia die. Liberia is our home. Liberia is our home. The only home we know. Let's fight to bring it back. Take it from the rogues. Take it from the thieves. Let us punish them. Liberia is our home. Liberia is our home. All you patriots rise. The time has come to end the massive stealing of our wealth. Rise, oh patriots. Rise, my patriots. Time to get our nation back. Liberia is our only home. We cannot sit and watch Liberia die. Liberia is our home, the only home we have. Rise up, patriots. Rise up, loyalists. Commander Chesson is calling the order of the day. Liberia is our home, the only home we know. Liberia cannot die. We owe it to our parents. We owe it to our elders. We owe it to the ancients. We owe it to our parents. Liberia cannot die. Rise up, oh patriots. Rise up, oh loyalists. Liberia is our home, the only home we have. Fight, fight for Liberia. Fight, fight for freedom. Fight, fight to free Liberia. Liberia is our home, the only home we ever know. Liberia is our pride, the inheritance we have. Rise, patriots, rise, loyalists, rise, Liberians. Follow Commander Chesson. Follow Commander. Follow Commander Chesson. Rise, rise. Tony Commander Chesson shall lead the order. Save Liberia. Free Liberia. Follow Commander Chesson. He will set the path. He will set the path. Juneteenth, 2021. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Tony Commander Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Today is the 19th. We celebrate the first federal holiday of Juneteenth, the final day of freedom for Black people. Juneteenth is a date that relates to Texas. After the emancipation, these people, African Americans in Texas, were still enslaved and didn't know that they had been freed until 2 years after emancipation. So that was known as Juneteenth. And we celebrate it today because it's the final day of freedom for Black people. And it's a name that suits us well, Juneteenth. Because only Black people will say that. So, happy Juneteenth. And as you can see behind me, there's a celebration going on at Roger Williams Park today from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So if you haven't signed up as a vendor, make sure you be there to celebrate this day. There should be entertainment. Every year we have this. They have the band up there. They have musicians. They have different skits by children and different groups. So I didn't follow up on the acts for this year, but make sure you be out there. It's always entertaining. And this year is a federal holiday. So let's go out there and celebrate Juneteenth. Okay? Let me get into my lesson. And celebrate and support Attorney Commander Galpohkpa Chesson. Okay? I need some moolah. Moolah. I need some moolah. Moolah, moolah. Moolah, moolah. Oh, moolah, moolah, moolah. I need some moolah. I need some more coffee. I need some moolah. Some more coffee. So send some money. Send some money. See all this thing I got to do? I do it just for you. I do it just for you. To spread the joy. To spread the message. To enlighten our minds. So we can know. We don't have to stay on this plane. We can excel. We can grow. We can advance to the next level. And that's our inherent rights. That's our God-given rights. To excel. To grow. To multiply. To be better. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with seeking greener pastures in this life, as long as it's fair, it's honest, it's trustworthy. As long as you're not stepping on other people's rights to gain your right. So we got to understand the essences that make us who we are in every sphere of this world. So let me put up my topic. Let's get into my lesson today. Today's topic: can Liberians lead Liberia today? Christianity and Liberia's government. And third, the review. So today's Juneteenth, I want to get out there, see what's happening in the community. Hope there's a good sunny day today. Wherever you are, don't stay home. Get out. Celebrate. This is our day. It's a federal holiday. Get out there. Celebrate. June 19th, 2021. The first federal holiday called Juneteenth. Get out there. Spread the joy. You see our flag behind me? This is the Black people flag, the Juneteenth flag. So let's get out there and celebrate. Let's be happy today. Let's make it a joyful day. Okay? Now let me get to the depressing part of my lesson this morning. Liberia. And I hope I wake you up feeling revived to join me in my lesson this morning. Okay, let's talk about my country now. Can Liberians lead Liberia today? That's a very good question. Because from every aspect of what's been happening in our country, we got to sit back and question our leaders. Not only George Weah and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, but all these other leaders, Walker, Cummings, Urey, running to be presidents and leaders of our country today. We gotta evaluate all these people. Because for too long, we've been in this boat, man. We've been in this boat for too long. The stealing, the corruption, the dysfunctional leadership. You mean we can't excel better than this? All the way we look at America, we try to emulate America. Everything good is America. All our come to America. But yet, right in our home, in Liberia, where we live, we keep ourselves running so bad and terrible. Liberia is no different from America. It's just about opportunities and way of life. The way of life in America is advanced more than ours in Liberia because the people have been in existence for long. They have had a chance to figure out some of the major problems, especially among the white race, because they're still suppressing us. So the white race is in the majority. So they have figured out what is good for them, what is civil, what is law-abiding. And we still have to catch up with that. Even in America, we still have to catch up with that. Because our surroundings, our living, do not exemplify those of other communities around us. Yes, we can talk about impoverishment, we can talk about backwardness, we can talk about failed government and national government attempts at helping Black people. But now, we got to stop and sit down and look around for ourselves now. We have reached a stage where we must take responsibility for ourselves. We must. And now we got our own holiday, Juneteenth. That shows the extent of our evolution in this country. The extent to which we have grown and come in this country. And it's in our own best interest, man. It is in our own best interest that we develop good leadership for our communities. Only we can lead our communities. Look at back in the days from the Wall Street, from Edinburgh and all the other settlements of Black people. They have standards. They exemplify good leadership, good citizenship. But what we have come today, we have lost that which we had, and we need to get back our pride and dignity. People blame it on integration. Say, oh, integration spoiled everything. When we're segregated, we knew ourselves better. We knew our professionals better. Black people got rich off Black people because we only relied on each other. But now we got integrated. We don't support our own no more. And these are things that harm our community too. You see? But our community members also have to know that if we must compete with other communities, we must be up to standard to compete. And we must learn that in order to compete, we need each other. We need partnerships. We need cooperations, people working together, people learning how to do business together and excel together. But if we don't learn all those kind of things, we cannot excel. And this is the same problem we're facing in Liberia. Why do we have a corrupt government today that is so corrupt that is a detriment to the people of Liberia? Why our government is so corrupt? Our government is a threat to our own national security, to our own survival, to our posterity's continuance. We are a threat to our own people, to our own existence and survival. Why? Why we gotta be like this? Why everything gotta be self, for myself, for me and I. Why everything gotta be like that? And all of this demonstrates that we're not mature enough to lead our country. It demonstrates that what we learn is not up to par with what our visions are for our country. How can we learn all this book and come and just be greedy, useless people, selfish, when our book in education tells us that for us to live together, we must agree. We must live by laws that we agree on. And in order for us to be successful, we must enforce those laws. Excuse me. We must enforce those laws. We cannot just make laws and just put them up there for decoration. Laws are made to be enforced so that our community continues as a wholesome, functioning, law-abiding society. And that means to hell with for peace sake. To hell with let it be, man. Forget it, man. Forget it. To hell with that. When we do those kind of things, we give life to corruption. We give life to rogues. We give life to the idea that everything is just talk, no action. And we cannot continue to survive like that. How we live, man, everybody come to our government has an opportunity to steal. And not steal small, steal big. Legally too. Look at the useless legislators sitting in our government, don't even know the purpose of their own jobs. They don't know it, because if they knew the purpose of the job, they would know that $15,000 can't build bridges. They would know that $15,000 can't change the life of people in their communities. Can't do anything worthwhile. And they cannot keep stealing this money. This money not for them. It's for us. And every time they disrespect us and go into these places to steal, they kill our country. Not only do they kill us, they kill our entire country. So, how long will we tolerate this? How long will we go on with this process? We can't continue it. Because things in our country are not getting better, they're getting worse. The more incompetence we have from our leaders, the more rogues and uselessness we have from our leaders, the more dirt and nastiness in our country because our leaders are incompetent. Jefferson Koji is a little boy. What a little boy would do for our country. You can tell by the way he dressed. People talking about, oh, goo suit. What kind of suit with birds or with yellow things or like a little kid? That's not responsible dress. That dress for a little kid going to a party or something like that. What kind of people we got leading us? And our people so ignorant. They look at men like Jefferson Courtney and say, oh, he's dressing from head to toe. What kind of dress is that? That's an immature man. And that man need to get out of our government. Look at Monrovia, so nasty. Then we're talking about COVID-19. This disease isn't going away. It's not. This disease isn't vanishing. It's not. The more we try to cure it in one country, another variant breaks out in another country. Now we're under the Indian variant now. Even people in America being threatened by that. What do you think about Africa? But what are the measures being made or being upheld in our country to protect our people? 1 minute you hear the COVID-19 news is fabricated to make money. Then the next minute you hear our people dying. No oxygen, no beds. So where are we going with all this uselessness? You come to Liberia, you be careful you're not come back to America. Our country is so terrible. Then people say we are want to stop the protests that should be going on soon. Because Liberian people are tired with the dysfunctional leadership of this government. Dysfunctional leadership of the three branches of our government. The three branches of our government are useless. Like people say we only got one branch of government now, and that's George Weah. And everybody just sucking up to him. Why? Why? Why don't we have men and women in our country? Why? Huh? Let petty change. All of you gotta steal it. They tell you bring the money back, you're fighting not to bring it back. Because you're finished eating it. But before you keep that money now, you gotta show us what you did with that money in your district. We're talking about building bridges and things because $15,000 can't build bridges. And if you legislators are that dumb to think $15,000 will build bridges, you crazy. And you all need to go. You all need to go. Because our government will not function effectively if you're dividing the money like that. You have no priority planning. You have no damn planning at all. If you're giving all the money to people like that to do their own development, then we have no centralized planning. We have no concise planning for our country. Everybody just doing what they want to do. And we can't tolerate that. That is useless leadership. That is useless governance. We're going to punish our rogues, man. You know, every time I see these things going on, Ellen Johnson said he can't get away with anything. Ellen Johnson said he is responsible for all of this. The 12 years this woman stayed in government, she could have done something for our country, man. She could have done something. She told us that we needed to fight. She told us that we needed to overthrow Doe. She told us we need to change our country for the 16 people that died. Now she come here, the same reason they killed the people. The same reason she perpetrated in our country. Nepotism, rampant corruption, distrust of the leadership. Now here we are with George Weah. We can't Gene, we can't Hall. And you see what hurt me? Liberian people praising Ellen, say, oh, Ellen brought us this far. She came and fought. Ellen didn't fight shit. She started the shit. And she can't end it. And she passing it on to these dummies who don't know nothing. Now Liberian people coming to the realization that George Weah is a dummy. He can't raise our country up. I was listening to Dapo talking on with Julius Zofa today. How he supported Weah, now he's not supporting him. What in the world made you think that a high school dropout could save Liberia? Maybe you're 1 year for door time because there was the war after that. So many of you don't know what we went through on the door. So when some of us saw this uneducated man running to be president, there's no way I can support that man. No way. No, there's no hope for change or change for hope or hope on a change or hope over change that will convince me to support a high school dropout to be president of Liberia. No, no, no. Because I learned on the door. And we're all his doctor. He still doesn't compare to Doe. Weah is weak. Doe was much better than Weah. Doe was much better than Weah. He was smarter than Weah. Now we got this other idiot. He got all these degrees, doctor. That don't worth nothing. It ain't worth a chicken egg. It ain't worth a chicken poo. What kind of doctor is this? You know, now the people complaining to stop the protests. He came up with their big COVID-19 thing. They want lockdown again. Our country can't afford another lockdown. If this is BS and you're doing that for money, this is chaos. We headed for chaos. You better check yourself before you wreck yourselves. Y'all can't be doing this with our country and our government. Our people gotta live, man. Y'all need priorities. Y'all need to set priorities of how y'all gonna run this damn government. Do you people know how to run government? My next thing under this topic, nasty Monrovia. Nasty Monrovia. And that young idiot there called Jeff Koji going around dressed up, and his city is nasty. Nasty. This young man ain't know nothing. He's supposed to be removed and flogged. There's a young idiot running Monrovia. That man can't even change his drawers good. Look at the kind of suits he's wearing. Dapo, they're talking about he's dressed from head to toe. What kind of head to toe? With all that birds all over your suits like a little immature kid? You better get from here, man. And you'll take your Jefferson Koji down to the dike and let him clean up. Give that man a shovel. Let him start learning how to clean up. He doesn't clean up his own home. How this man will clean up Liberia? This is the problem, God. We are disease-ridden. We are slime-ridden. We are garbage-ridden. We are feces-ridden. I mean, we just all run with nastiness. Our leaders are nasty. From George Weah down to the street sweeper. Why we gotta be like this? Why? Y'all can't see this man and this government are good for us. Y'all can't see that we deserve better than this uselessness. Y'all can't see our money just going without accountability. Our country needs overhauling. The whole structure of our payment for our legislator got to change. If legislators were getting $5,000 a month, their work would be much better. If they were getting $5,000 a month and we're monitoring everything they were doing, we had an intellectual body sitting down, evaluating everything they're doing and criticizing or praising them for everything they do, our country will change. Our country will change. Because once we criticize these people, they will be removed. And nobody going to sit there for 19 years, 9 years, to do what? What you doing 9 years in our government? What you do? All this money you're getting, it will stop. Legislators will not get more than $5,000. There's got to be a national plan for development. All you useless people not going to be taking money home say you're going to develop your community because we have no professional leadership. We have no planning for national development. And we're going backward and backwards and backwards because our people using all this money for themselves. With our people taking all this money for themselves. We can't G, we can't haul. We are stagnant. We are immobile. We're moving without development. It can't happen. It got to stop. We owe our posterity too much. Look where we are now. Because our fathers and mothers did not protect our resources. So we'll grow up not knowing how to protect our country and our resources either. But we can learn. We can make conscious decisions to change our country. We can make conscious decisions for our government to be equitable to all citizens. So all citizens can have a chance to live. So when you're a Liberian, you know you're entitled to something. If it's not free education, it's free health care. You got to be entitled to something to be a Liberian. You can't just be a Liberian for nothing. So just as our government receives, our government gives. Because it's a two-way street. When the government protects the people will serve the government and trust the government and love the government. But everything in the government about stealing, self-preservation, selfishness, our government and country will never excel. It will never excel. So we got to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Let me get to my second lesson. Charity and Liberia's government. You know, Liberians are so Christians, so much Christians. We forget that our country is not run by Christians. Our country run by Liberians. Our country run by Liberians who are loyal, who are patriots, who are devotees, who are dedicated to seeing our country excel and grow. So, even with that, as a nation that was founded on Christian principles, which benefits us. Because the two principles of Jesus Christ tell us about loving our God, no matter what kind of God you got. Love your God. Juju, Muslim, Christian, animist, Buddhist, wherever your God is, love your God. But also know that you live in a community of other people and other gods. So just as you serving your gods, those people have a right to serve their gods, to love their gods. And we got to love each other as neighbors, because we'll never have a country to call our own if we don't love each other, if we don't take care of each other, if we don't seek the rights of each other, we don't protect the rights of each other, we don't advance the interests of each other. We'll not grow, we'll not prosper. And people who violate our laws cannot be the same people to lead us under the law. No. And that's why we're killing us today. It's killing us today. Because these same people who have killed us and harmed us are using the Bible to rule us. Listen to our legislature. They come here, they say we won't trust them because they're Christians. I can't trust you because you're Christians. Are you crazy? The same people that follow Jesus killed Jesus. Then I will trust you. Jesus laid the example for us by his life. You cannot use Christianity for your own enrichment, for your own aggrandizement, for your own stealing and corruption. Because anytime we're talking about accountability in our government and you're talking about Christ, we're ready to flock you. We're ready to flock you. Because it has nothing to do with accountability. So when you steal our money and you disparage our government and our people and cause our leadership to fail, then you'll stand before us and telling us how religious you are, how you are born in the house on a Christian principle. When you start telling me that, my eyes start getting red because I'm ready to jump up and fuck you just on that principle. Who cares whether you're a Christian, good Christian or bad Christian? Who cares whether you wake up and say communion 10 times a day? I don't care. When it comes to government, I don't care. I will tear you apart on your Christian principle because Jesus Christ protects me. He protects me as a leader of my country, listening to your bullshit about Christianity. He protects me because Jesus has said, render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God. So you cannot come before Caesar and talk about God. No. You cannot come to Caesar and talk about God. When you come to Caesar, talk about accountability, accessibility, responsibility. That's what Caesar deals with. You take that religious thing to God. You take that being in the church all your life and serving the God and saying amen. You take it to the church. You don't bring it to government. I'm a Christian. But while sitting in the throne of judgment over my people, I'm not a Christian. I'm a judge. So there's a difference between Christianity and judgment. You see all the people in the Bible, the same Bible you're talking about. Samson, Joshua, Elisha, all the people, they were judges. Because before Saul, there was no king of the Jews. God was the only king. Elijah, Samson, Abraham, all the people there, they were messengers. They were prophets. They were judges. Because they instituted God's law over the people. So they were God judges. And it wasn't until Saul, King Saul, that the Jews cried for a king. And God said, I will give you a king. And he gave them Saul. So we got to understand where we're standing. Upon the foundation which we exist. And if you're a Christian, if you're a serving Christian, you will know that when it comes to government, you can't come and talk about Jesus Christ. No, when you're on the throne of judgment, I don't want to hear that you serve in the church, that you are a good Christian, that you are altar boy, that you serve under the priest. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear what you did with our money. I want to hear how you're spending our money. Is it in the interest of the Liberian people? Is it in your own self-interest? Are you taking money home for the people that you know you cannot do anything with? What do you do to help your district with $15,000? What do you do? What do you do in your district to help with $30,000? That's not money for you to be taking home to our government money. If every senator and representative had projects, how our country will grow. That's the same reason today we cannot build the highway in the southern region. Because we got all these false Christians come and steal our money. Then when we hijack them, they come talk about Christianity. How they grew up in the church. Man, you better don't tell me that thing. Y'all better don't tell me that thing. I'm not that kind of Christian. I'm not that kind of Christian. You steal my money, then you come to Jesus to me. I'm not that kind of Christian. I will kick you in the gonads. I'm not that kind of Christian. Don't steal. Then you stand before me and telling me about God instead of telling me where my money is. God is with the people. When you steal from the people, you can't be a part of God's flock. Jesus fed the 5,000. He healed the sick. He raised the dead. He didn't do it for money. He didn't do it for family only. So when our leaders come and betray our country, then stand before us and want buttress the stealing on the Bible, beware, beware. We love Jesus Christ, but we ain't gonna let you railroad our country because you're Christian. So all your Christians, all you who love Jesus, all you who love Muhammad, all you who love wherever you love, juju, voodoo, wherever you love, you keep that thing to your secrecy. You keep that thing in your church. You keep your thing in the flock church or wherever you got it. But when you bring that thing to the public, when you expose your ideal of Christianity to our people that don't match the mainstream Christianity teachings of render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's and unto God the things that are God's, then we're going to have some big problem in the land, We're going to have some serious problems in the land because some of us do not believe in Steve from Steve God make God laugh. We don't believe in trust and don't pay. We don't believe in for peace sake. We don't believe in all these negative things that my people have today that has been prevalent in our society for so long that our people are devoid of reason, of Christianity, Christian living, Christian sharing, Christian associating. Because when you are imbued with the faith, it's not about self, it's about community, it's about leadership, it's about governance, and all of that must rest on the good for the people. Because God is for the people. And whenever you say you're leading the people and you're stealing and rely on your faith to free you, you rely on a broken stick, brother. You rely on a broken stick. Because when the true Liberian dispensation is exposed or reveals itself soon, people got to account for their actions, got to account for all our money. We're not letting our money go. Y'all can't be stealing from us like this. We want freedom. Freedom. Freedom from stealing. Freedom from corruption. Why every time we sit to talk, we got to talk about corruption, corruption, corruption. We can't talk about community planning, community development, community projects. Huh? We're talking about lawmaker project. Where lawmaker got project from? We are project. Where we got project from? You better don't play with our government. We are not idiots. Don't play with our government. We are not idiots. And you forget about your Christianity. Because when it comes to our government, there is no room for Christian arguments. There is no room for divine saving of criminals. There is no room, no matter how you believe it, that Jesus Christ coming to save you. Because Jesus taught us, render unto Caesar's the things that are Caesar's. Render unto Caesar the things that belong to Caesar. Render unto Caesar those things that are Caesar's. Caesar is the people. Caesar is the people. It's not you. It's not you. Caesar represents the people. Render unto the people what is theirs, and unto God what is his. So if you don't understand these teachings, you will keep crossing the line. You will keep making your Christianity with good governance. And they can't match. Neither can Islam. This is not an Islamic state. We don't follow holy laws. We follow the agreement we make between ourselves. We follow physical laws, circular mundane laws that we put together by ourselves through the blessing of our gods. We do not rule our people under holy laws. No, no, no. We can't. We can't. That's not our destiny. We are a circular people. We come from various communities all over the world. And in Liberia, we can be Liberians. But our religion is free. because our religion is not restricted to Liberian religions. That's why religion is not part of our governance. Because in our country, all religions have priorities. The only religion that we abhor are those religions that take life for granted, that take life for food, that take human life for sacrifices. We abhor those because those do not fall within the realm of our agreement, which is our constitution. They don't fall within that realm. And that's the only realm that protects and guides Caesar's government. That's the only realm that distinguishes Caesar's realm from the realm of Jesus Christ, from the realm of Muhammad, from the realm of Buddha, from the realm of any other religion. So it's the agreement we made. And we must live up to that agreement. We must live up to our constitution. We must live up to our constitution. Because above all laws in our country, our constitution is blessed, is divine, is we ourselves who sign up and say we agree to that law. So by all of us agreeing to that and making it the center agreement for the operation of Liberia, the center agreement of how we lead our nation and people, the center agreement that makes Liberia Liberia. We don't have a nation. That wasn't Jesus Christ's writings. No. Jesus Christ imbued us with the ideals. Muhammad imbued us. Allah imbued us with the ideals. For us to sit down together and write laws that we hope will be fair, will be just, will be equal, will give our people the opportunities they need to excel and grow. That's why we chose democracy. That's why we chose free will. Free will. Free will. Because we want our people to have no obstacles to being a part of Liberia. We have one God. And that is a God that represents all of us. You can believe in 10 God. You can believe in 15 God. You can believe in 20 God. But when it comes to Liberia, we believe in one God. And that is the God supreme. Just the divine. That's all we believe in. The divine. Because through that, we have our nation. We are one people. We are one people. So we incorporate all our gods into one God. And it doesn't have to be Christianity. It doesn't have to be Islam. It doesn't have to be Buddhist. It just has to be God, the divine, that protects all of us. So when we understand where we're coming from, we understand what our government means to us. And our God protects the realm, protects the collective. Caesar protects the nation. We got to understand these things. Then we'll understand how to separate church from state. State is for the government. Everything you do for the state, You must have accountability. You must have responsibility. You must produce or move, because the government is secular. Everything you do in the government, we must have example of your progress, your failures, or any problems you have. That's what separates us from Jesus' realm. In Jesus' realm, he controls everything. We have no say in it. But in our government, you better have receipts. You better have accountability. You better be responsible, because we are not a Christian realm. Our government is governed by the people, not by Jesus Christ. That's what makes it Jesus' realm. And when we understand these two distinctions, once we understand that as government officials, we are responsible to the people, and there's no room for individual Jesus Christs in our country. Jesus Christ, Muhammad, God, whatever you say, protects the collective. That's why our government is there, to ensure that all of us conform to the good in all things we do for the collective. So our government punishes people that are not conforming, that may cause our government and people to become non-conforming. That's why we have deterrence. That's why we have punishment, to set examples for our people so we know our limits. And that is how we build good governance. That's how we build good leadership. Knowing our responsibilities, knowing how far we can go and how far we can't go. Knowing that when it comes to a punishment, it has nothing to do with Jesus Christ. It has nothing to do with Islam. It has nothing to do with juju. So don't come to me and beg me for peace sake. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with perpetuating the state, perpetuating the rule of law, perpetuating discipline and law-abiding citizens. So that's why we don't play with our laws and our constitution, because they have greater significance to us in our lives. My final topic, the review. All that I've taught you this morning rests upon our own abilities to realize our responsibilities as men and women. Our responsibilities of people who are responsible, who believe in nationhood, who believe in community, who believe that we can do things for ourselves based on that agreement called our Constitution. Because without that agreement, we have no governance. Without that agreement, we have no nation. Without that agreement, we have no sovereignty. So it behooves us to understand the significance of our Constitution, the significance of what makes us Liberian, what makes us equals, what makes us strive for equality, what makes us put laws and creeds on our books to ensure that our society conform to the agreement that we have made among ourselves. And that what makes us a sovereign nation and a sovereign people. And if we fail to exercise any of the things that are credible to wholesome functioning nations and societies. We cannot fit into the committee of world nations. We can't fit. Because look at our country. Look at how filthy and nasty it is. We can't compete. We can't compete. We are a sitting trap for diseases. We are a sitting trap for death of our own people. We are a sitting trap for incurable diseases. And if we don't realize that, if we don't have the leadership that is appreciative of our lives, our safety, our health, then we don't have a good leadership. Then we have nothing but immature children and thieves and bandits, and we will not succeed. So that's my lesson for this Juneteenth, 2021. We have to research ourselves. We have to evaluate ourselves. We got to ask ourselves, am I a Liberian patriot? And look around you and see your community and see your country and answer your own question. Aluta! Continua. My lesson is done. We just got to open our eyes, look around, and realize the fact of all things around us. We are the masters of our own fate. We are the captains of our own destiny. And we fail time and time again to understand the significance of these things that God has blessed us with. Liberia is our only home. Liberia is our only home. We cannot sit and watch Liberia die. Liberia is our home. Liberia is our home. The only home we know. Let's fight to bring it back. Take it from the rogues. Take it from the thieves. Let us punish them. Liberia is our home. Liberia